Let's get started with Ladybug again. Ladybug is, I'm trying to think of the best way to describe it. It's basically an engine, right? And it's going to process and run through weather data in order to generate graphics that are going to be representative of the environment on your site or in the region or pretty much any way that you want to use it. There are so many different ways that you can use Ladybug. We're going to go through some of the ones that are going to serve you most immediately in your design class, because being third and fourth year design students, or third and fourth semester design students, you guys are doing a lot of environmental analysis. So I'm going to show you how to draw a sun path. I'm also going to show you how to orient your camera to actually look down at your building from a particular sun angle. And I'm going to show you how to do a shadow study by the sun, by the actual sun angles. Okay. So first and foremost, we need to build a building. Okay. And we're going to keep this super mega simple. And it's just got to have an accurate scale. I want to make sure that you build something that is of an accurate scale. So let's just put a mass, and we'll put it at the origin. So start off at 0, 0. And let's make it 100 feet by 100 feet by, do like 400 feet. So this is like a mid-rise building. Well, way more than mid-rise. It's a high-rise. Okay, so back into actual Ladybug now. Okay, Ladybug, as I mentioned, is an engine, and as such, it's not running all the time. And so, do you guys need a moment? I hear a lot of chattering. Okay, so Ladybug is an engine, and you need to tell it to run the Ladybug engine. And it's located right here on the Ladybug menu, or tab, and it's all the way here to the left. It says Ladybug, Ladybug. It's the one it's all alone over there. When you drop that in, it'll take a couple minutes to start and initialize the actual program, and then you'll have it running. The thing you need to know about this is that you don't need to plug this into anything. It just needs to be present in your definition for it to operate. Okay? So I'm also going to teach you here how to figure out how this thing works without me having to teach you. Okay? So when you guys are using this in your design class, you'll be able to basically learn it and do it on your own without me having to teach you every little bit of it. Now, first, I guess we should probably start with the sun path. That's found under visualize. No, I don't. That's found under panel 2, visualize weather. Data, I imagine, is what the full thing is for that. And it's called Ladybug sun path right here. So notice how it has a really, really long description. That's because the inputs for these things are actually pretty complex, and you need to read it. You absolutely need to read these descriptions. Not so much this one. This is just telling you a bit of what it does. But when you drop it in, it's massive. Okay? So each of these, I mean, it looks really intimidating. But I'll tell you this, it's really not. It's not that crazy. One of the things that it does really well is it splits the sections of information into really clear categories. North and location is basically just trying to geo-orient your analysis. Hour, day, month, time step, and analysis period, that's just all dealing with the time of year or the range of times in the year. Center point, sun path scale, sun scale, and projection, that is where is this component going to create this sun path, right? And then the stuff at the bottom is kind of more custom modifiers, you know, what colors are going to be, you know, that kind of stuff. So we won't worry too much about that. But what we do need to do here is work backwards and give this thing the information that it needs. So in order to run a sun path analysis, you need what?
Direction.
What's that?
Direction?
Sunset, sun.
You need a location, right? Or direction. right? You guys are all very, very close. The location here is going to read a particular type of file, which I'm not sure if you actually did do any energy plus analysis in design. So do any of you know what an EPW file is yet?
No.
Oh, okay. That's odd. Usually Iggy teaches that like really early. Anyway, so an EPW file is essentially it's like a giant Excel file that has all of the data, the weather data, that's been measured for a particular time period, usually a year. Or it may even go back 10 or 40 years and then just average it out and give you what you can expect for, like, you know, if you're dealing with flooding and stuff, you can have a 1-year flood, a 10-year flood, or even a 100-year flood. All that data is packed into a giant, giant Excel file. So this will unpack that information for us, but we need to know how to load it in. So in order to load that in, we go to this panel here, 0, Ladybug, and there are a few different ways you can do this. Notice how it says Ladybug download EPW weather file. There's also Ladybug import EPW weather file. And then there's open EPW. You kind of need to know the difference between the two. Download, you will actually give that a web address. And anytime you open this, if the weather data file has changed, it will update. So it's pretty smart. Import EPW is actually I don't really know what the difference is between import and open. Import list, we want to open, but, oh, that one's an automatic download from a location on your computer. That's the one we want. I don't really know what the difference is between these two. This one I think reads it from the program. Anyway, what we're going to use is Ladybug open EPW weather file. We're just going to download the one we want because we're not worried about using this thing 6 months from now and it's still working without us having to update it. But anyway, it looks like this. It's really simple. All you need to do is plug in, wait, true browse, what? Boolean, that doesn't seem right. Hang on. Set Boolean to true for browse. That doesn't seem right. Hang on. Weather file URL. Working directory. I think this might actually be the one. Yeah, this is the one we want. Sorry. You want to get open EPW and stat weather file. Sorry. This one is going to open something else. But what we're going to actually do is plug in the working directory rather than the file URL. URL is the web address that you would want to download it from, but we're actually just going to give it an actual file location on our directory. But first we need to get an EPW file. Okay, so here I'm going to go to energyplus.net/weather, and you guys can follow along or not. It's up to you, but I'm going to download one for us so you don't have to do this step. So here I'm just going to search for Los Angeles. I'm going to pick a particular one. If you're doing this for design, for your design class, you're going to want the nearest one to your location, so you'll have to find that. But anyway, I'll just grab International Airport, because airports usually have very detailed weather files. And I'll click on EPW. So that downloads here, and I will drop that in our folder. I'll just copy it. Go here. Let's put it under a new folder. Week 8, day 1. I'm just going to put it in this folder real quick. Okay. So here's the key. And you guys now need to do this part with me. Okay. You need to navigate to this location. K. Grenling, our class, the projects folder, and week 8, day 1. And make sure that you grab this location, and I want you to copy it. Control C. I'm going to give you guys a minute to do that, then I'll continue. All right, continuing on. Copy that location, and we're going to go back here to Grasshopper. Let me get rid of that one. Sorry, these are the only two you need. You don't need that other one. So the working directory is going to ask for, this is why you have to read it, right? It says an optional text string representing a file path, okay? So that's a text string. So if you go up to param, and you go to primitive, there's a pretty nifty one here called file path, and at least this used to work, but that icon looks a little different on the thing. So anyway, I'm going to click on file path, and if you right click that, you can do set one file path, and then you just plug in that location, and then you go here and just hit open. So that populates with that EPW file, and you should see it here. It should say this.
That's cool.
Okay. So from there, you take that path and you plug it into working directory, and it didn't work. Why didn't it work? Hang on. Because this is not, this is a different file now. APW file? File path on your system as a string. Well, that didn't do it either. Well, alright. That one seemed to do it. Never mind. So anyway, looks like this has changed a little bit since the last time I taught this, but EPW and stat, for some reason, isn't accepting the file path format type. Okay? So what I plugged in instead was import EPW. So that's this one right here, Ladybug import EPW. So that one allowed me to plug it in, and let me just really quickly take a look at the information to see if it's actually processing it properly. So I'm going to plug a panel into location and see what I get. Oops. Okay, so location is spitting out Los Angeles. It gives me the latitude, longitude, time zone, and elevation. So that's good. If it's not giving you that, then we need to figure out why. So anyway, all you need are these two components here. You just need path, and you need import EPW. And then if you look here on your sun path, location is there, and you have location here. And if I take that location and I plug it into the location of the sun path, it's going to generate my sun path. Which is super duper easy, right? All you had to do was import an EPW file, get the location information from it, and then plug it into SunPath, and it generates it for you. So, how do you use this, right? In design, I'm sure you have been told that you need to show the sun angles, right? Or a sun path diagram. Well, you can basically just go into top view, and there's your sun path diagram. Okay, and there are a few things that you can do to get more information out of it. You can get a legend, and you can have more information pop out and stuff like that. But anyway, that's the basic sun path diagram. All right, what questions do you have? All right.